the show. I think the show flows better. And I got to give credit where credit is due. Okay, we talk. We have a good time. We try to be entertaining. We try to be knowledgeable. We try to bring, facts and just a good time on the show. That has gone up 10 stages since the arrival of widescreen. And, I appreciate you, buddy. You've been an awesome addition, and I hope you stick around. I hope this is something we can grow together and go to the next level. And I'm telling you right now, live streaming, okay, it's coming.
Well, you think about it is that I got a good group up in Washington.
I've been watching that stuff.
Live streaming pros. These guys are basically from 6 blocks away from me.
Right.
But they've been doing this ever since live streaming has been, and that's been I believe 2009 or
they're
whatever.
kind of pioneers in the live streaming on social media is what we're talking about here.
Right.
Okay, now they do a great job. I listen to them. I've been watching this. I've been following you on there and paying attention. Here's the bad part about it. Okay, to do live streaming, and this is why I'm trying to grow this show at a rapid rate, but not too big. I don't want to outgrow us too fast and kill this thing. But live streaming and the equipment we need to do that, there's one piece of equipment I looked at, and you know what I'm talking about, the HD51. We're looking at $6,000. Okay, yeah, but it's going to take you to the next level and the quality. And I'm not gonna go live streaming with a phone on Facebook or whatever. I mean, we're gonna bring the real.
We're gonna bring the base of the HD quality. When you look at television, that is, we're in the middle of having a studio renovated. It's going to be literally here in the next 6 months. I see this
whole thing
is
going to be changed.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year is when we have all of our ducks in a row. And construction basically starts for the new 2017 series
3 weeks ago.
Right.
But here's the thing, guys. We haven't had an off season. We went from championship night at Sunset and championship night at Willamette, and then we went to Baco.
Right.
Time out. You guys went to Baco.
Moxie went to Baco, right.
Moxie minus widescreen went to Baco. And then we come back, y'all come back, and we sit here and we're getting comfortable. And then next thing you know, Moxie minus widescreen's going to
Vegas.
Then
you could go too. I'm just telling you. You need to tell your bosses.
Dude. But
you could fire your boss. I would. But then we've got some stuff coming up. It's some winter racing we're going to bring. It's going to be cool for everybody.
But what the biggest event we got coming up this off season is that we've got 5 months to prep for, basically.
The 2017 Northwest Race Car Show presented by Jetstream Aqua Massage. This
Bingo.
is going to be a big deal. With what you've got going on your end of this whole deal, with what Josh has going on, what I've got going on, and what we're all combining to do here, it's going to be, I think it's probably going to be the best race car show we've had to promote these racetracks, these drivers, these teams, these sponsors, okay? We're gaining nothing out of this.
Well, why would we even think about wanting to gain anything?
Well, the only thing we're gaining is exposure from Moxie.
We don't gain anything by doing this.
This is something we're doing for the passion of the sport, to get it out there, to show these people, hey, look, you got a racetrack 12 miles down the road. You got a racetrack in Sunset. You've got a racetrack in Cottage Grove. You've got these racetracks up and down the I-5 corridor that are all within an hour and a half, 2 hours of each other. And a lot of them people don't even know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not even close.
So, and like you said, last year we answered the same questions over and over. Where do those cars race at? What kind of car is that? And there's a racetrack in Lebanon.
Right? Or 2 blocks away
no.
from Fred Meyer or from Thirthway.
Right.
In Sunset.
Right. No newspaper coverage for Willamette Speedway last year at all.
None.
How many articles did you see in the local paper that used to promote that track every week?
Well,
next to nothing.
I don't remember seeing. Well, I don't get the Albany paper, so I can't speak to that.
I saw a couple articles, and they were so. They were. Trust me, nothing to write home about. Someone's got to do this, okay? I think we're doing a pretty good job.
I hope so.
Teams, drivers, sponsors, for the sport, and that's kind of why we do that. We say it every week. We do it for the sport, and that's what it is. We do it for the sport.
So let me kind of elaborate a little bit on what you're talking about too. Is that when I was at the little get together with Northwest Dwarf Car Show or Northwest Dwarf Car guys, we had it at Sidecart. Just happens to be right, and they're talking about changing some things up and adding new things and the Nationals and blah 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 and trying to make their series even better going with that. And I told him, I said, well, hey, I said, if you want to, you do realize that Moxie is here and everything. They looked at me and kind of like, really? Like, yeah, we're not here for us. We're not here to sit there and hear ourselves talk because we do that every single day. I mean, that's what we that's what we do. But the whole reason why Moxie's here, the phone calls, the emails, all that type of stuff is for you, the racers, you, the race fans. If you have a question, put it on.
The Swears Tracking chat line.
Yeah,
call us on the Progress
talk
Cars
to
call
us.
line. Yeah.
Look how much this show has grown from when I first came here at the beginning of August. The Swears Trucking chat line
didn't exist.
There was nothing on it.
Well,
now,
yeah, it'd be like 2 or 3
Now,
people.
I'm looking at it.
You're on what, page 6?
Yeah, it's completely full. The show sounds awesome. Thanks for doing what you do. Can't wait to get to the track. I mean, it's just constant.
And then
Danny McLaren. We know Danny. Come on,
Yeah.
D. We know D. We love her. She says, "You guys are hilarious." Well, come on. D.
Well, no, honey, I'm hilarious.
No.
They're just no.
I don't know why she thinks we're hilarious because we aren't streaming this right now. I mean,
Now, that's what I'm worried about. When this thing goes streaming, I think we're going to be in trouble.
Gonna be we're
Josh,
gonna have to be on our best
find
behavior.
professional business attire.
Listen, these shorty shorts.
Your
all right?
Daisy Dukes are not cutting it.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean?
No,
Listen,
Guess who just sent a message?
Pie Kenny Miller.
the doctor
No,
himself.
your boy Doc.
Doc?
Doc says "pow," and I don't know if that's POW as in we know if you've seen Doc's Facebook
Right.
page.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know if that means pow, like pow, it's a good thing, you guys are awesome, or if he's going back into his service days, talking about prison. Doc, elaborate, man. Pow, what does that mean?
Are you sure he's not underneath the couch somewhere going, Charlie's out there somewhere?
That's what, you know what? You're the reason he doesn't come on the show.
That is the reason why.
What are you talking about?
And we're talking about Joel.
Doc and I are buddies.
Yeah, when he's on his medication.
But you know what?
You know what his medication
Listen,
is?
here's the thing.
Race cars.
That's exactly it,
If
too.
you know Doc, you love Doc. Okay?
Well, okay, so Doc,
Doc.
Willamette Speedway.
Willamette Speedway, the official photographer.
This guy, I've literally seen. Is it on this side why I can't talk? I'm illiterate today.
No.
You're an idiot. So, I've seen race cars aiming for him.
Mm-hmm.
This is Doc. Oh, we're back in what is it, France, and he's got a Toro, and he steps off to the side, and it's just like, are you kidding? I mean, this, especially in the indoor too.
He is.
at Salem.
If you talk to Doc, you realize real quick he's not afraid to die. Okay.
Doc's not afraid of nothing.
Doc's lived a life that he's lived more than you and me and Widescreen will ever live combined.
Doc, check this out. I know you're on here. Why don't you call in? Let's talk about the first week at Salem. Let's talk about a little bit of you and your photography.
Well, here's the thing about Doc, and this is what I appreciate about him, and this is why you see the quality photos you get from Doc's photos, is here's a guy that, and when I say Doc isn't right, I don't mean that in a bad way.
Oh, no, not at all. He's cool as hell.
Absolutely. But
I'd leave my kid with
anybody, I wouldn't. Anybody.
I would, because my kid is as crazy as he is.
Doc,
Doc is
trust
awesome.
me. Doc, he protects those kids at the racetrack.
Yeah, he
does
does
a great job. Now, here's the thing about Doc. When I say Doc isn't right, anybody who can get behind the wheel of a super modified on asphalt and drive those cars.
Mm-hmm.
There are race car drivers, and there are race car drivers who just aren't right. Those super modified drivers on asphalt are the guys that just aren't right. That's what Doc did. That's where Doc comes from. Super modifieds and sprint cars on asphalt.
Sprint cars on asphalt? No, thank you.
I'm with you. That's where Doc comes from. This guy has put himself, and he's ran the street stocks and the bombers, and everything.
Doc's been around the block a couple times.
He has. He's a veteran. He's worked on the jets, and he's been in 2 different branches of the service. And I forgot this. He is a former bull rider. So when I say,
are you serious?
That is true. That is
okay.
True.
Then me and Doc have way more in common now, is because all the way through high school we used to ride bulls.
Okay,
up at
he's talking
Brandon's
about
Ranch.
livestock. Not,
me too.
Not big women.
Yeah, no.
I'm just kidding.
That's why she's an ex.
Oh my God, we're gonna get fired.
Yeah, we up at Branton's Farm up there in Camas Washougal area. After during high school, all my high school years and stuff, we even went up to Glenwood and rode up in the Glenwood Rodeo half a dozen times. So that's awesome.
I used to ride bulls.
Yeah, I used to be a whole $1.29 soaking wet. Imagine that.
Mutton busting is
Mutton
not
hooing?
Mutton busting is not bull riding.
Listen, whatever you do at your house with your livestock that's your own thing.
Josh, I just have to ask: when you were playing cowboy, did you wear leather boots or rubber boots?
Check it out. I was buckle bucket. I was buckle bunny hunting.
Yeah. Okay.
How'd that work for
Now-
you?
It worked out good because I got to be a big buckle.
Well, you'd need a big buckle, buddy.
Oh God. Oh,
Just
man.
went from it just went craziness. But I'll tell you what though, you talk about Doc, and just because he was there, he's one of those guys that you do. I mean, you have major quality photography. When he's there, I mean that's just it. I mean even go-karts, cage karts, whatever. If you ask him to, and he's off to the side, and you ask him, hey Doc, hey, can I get an action shot? And you sit there and you say, absolutely. Well, Doc's the type of guy or whatever will sit there and say, hey, you know what? He'll know when you come out. But Doc's the type of guy that if you ask him, prior to or even earlier on, say, hey, I'm really looking for an action shot for my sponsors. Will you do that? He will give you exactly what you want.
Talking about action spots, we have Doc on the phone here on Northwest Dirt News. Doc, what's going on, buddy?
I don't know how you managed to do this.
I do.
It's called we set
Called
you up.
being gangsta, son.
We set you up, Doc. We were just here talking about Doc's photos and what you do, and let's your background in racing is not your typical photographer's background.
Well, that's probably true.
I mean, anybody coming out of
But,
super modifieds and sprint cars, and you've done a lot. I think that's why you get the angles that you do, and the fear that you don't possess allows you to get that stuff. That's kind of like, for people that really haven't met you and know you on a personal level, like the three of us here at Northwest Dirt News. Let's talk about your background. That kind of give the fans out there that hear us talk about you. Let them know your background. Let them kind of talk about let's talk about where you come from.
Well, where shall we start?
Basically, when you were 12.
Back when dirt
When I
was young, Doc.
12.
So, well, your dad
Yeah, we talked-
got you into racing. He was a super modified driver, right?
Yeah, you got to you got to
well,
keep going.
You want to kind of know how I went from racing to the photography.
Let's talk about the progression and what happened.
Okay, well, as far as the photography goes, I really got into it in about 9th grade, back when we were shooting black and white 35 millimeter. Me and another kid were the school photographers. We took all the photos, we developed the film, we developed all the prints that went into the school newspaper and such. Okay, and after that, I got more into photography on a personal level. When I was in the service, I worked on the reconnaissance planes. I worked on the actual recon systems. So, we're taking photographs from 40,000 feet, and telling you what brand of cigarette some guy's smoking. And, this is the photography on a large scale, so you really learn quite a bit about doing that. And then never got away from the photography. Always enjoyed doing it. And as far as the racing goes, we all know that if you're going to race, of course you have to have the car, you have to have some knowledge, you have to have some equipment, got to have a truck and trailer, you got to have somewhere to have the car to work on it, okay? So we're talking dollar signs here. And, wasn't too bad 30, 35 years ago, but those dollar signs are a lot bigger now.
Right.
And so when I made the big move, I got rid of a small engine repair business and all the equipment and the house and everything. Now I'm in a place where I can't really have the truck, the trailer, the garage, and the car. And but the photography still keeps me right in the middle of all the racing.
Literally.
Plus, I'm doing something I really enjoy, and it doesn't. I don't have to